Why, hello. We are back with more Hobbs Barrow. Do I remember what's going on? Only vaguely. Let's actually take a second and look at our to-do. Explore Bewley. Locate Hobbs Barrow. Find a way to get into the postmaster's storeroom. And Jane is hiding in a hole in the ground. Alright, so maybe the best way to think is let's go back to the village. Where are we going to get a light? Dum dum dum.
I can't think of anything else.
Alright, it's not by talking to him.
The candle has melted. It's not much use anymore. Perhaps Mr. Kemp will replace it this evening.
He's going to replace it this evening? That's a long time away.
There's nothing else.
That's a long time away. So we're not going to leave the little girl in there that long. So... maybe the blacksmith got something?
I can't think of anything.
No?
The blacksmith is right here.
Okay. Perhaps there's something this way.
Hello.
Good day.
Goodbye.
Don't.
Yep, nope, that's not going to be helpful. Okay. Where are we going to find a light source? Maybe at the railway station?
What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
Let's learn more about Lord
You've heard of his
Panswick.
lordship, then?
Yes. Do you know him?
Aye. He comes into the village from time to time.
Time to
Sweets to
time.
his children. Hires young men to work his land. He's well liked around here.
I sense some hesitation, Mr. Tillett.
Well, we kind of have an unspoken agreement with his lordship. He looks after us, provided we leave him alone.
I don't follow.
He likes his privacy.
Some people do.
No one is allowed to visit him.
Do you mean to say that he's a bit eccentric?
No. I've heard people got fired at when approaching his manor uninvited.
Good grief. But is this true?
Well, I won't be the one to find out.
Farewell for now.
Ta-ra!
Alright, so maybe the church. Maybe at the church we can get a light?
I have nothing else to ask.
Maybe inside the church? Candles? Window, altar, flowers, plaques, ceiling, pews. Well, that's distinctly not the things I need. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, we got a hairpin. Can we use that to get into the building? The postmaster's place.
I can't try to pick the lock while...
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's think. Wait, he argues with Cyril, right? And we talked to Cyril. Is Cyril still here? Or do we have
I don't want to take the...
No, that's not what I'm trying to click. Didn't mean to click that, but so be it. The music in this room will never cease to be slightly annoying. Oh, Cyril's still here. Maybe, so that's a change of state. So maybe that's the key then, because we've got something to change.
Hello.
Good day.
Can I buy you an...
I suppose one more. I shall
All
take
right.
you up on your...
Let us make...
So now because we've drank many, many, many times at this point.
To think, if that station hadn't been built, we would never have met. Blessed be the Midland Railway.
Idiot!
Oh, yep, there we go. There we go.
That station is the worst decision this village has ever made!
I mean, you got
Cyril Farnaby,
Lord
a miserable
Panswick.
man with miserable ideas.
It's probably a
I
worse
will
idea.
change your mind even if it kills me.
All right. Ooh, game saved. We've made progress. We have moved the needle forwards, which means let's try the hairpin trick now. Hairpin.
Kenneth taught me this useful trick. A hairpin is much more than a hair accessory. A few wiggles and this lock should spring right open.
All right.
I've snapped the hairpin in the process, but I managed to unlock the door.
Well, there we go. That's something.
Let's open this envelope.
Yes, let's.
There's a note inside.
Of course. All right, Miss Bateman, I beg you for your forgiveness. A matter of grave urgency has arisen in London, and I cannot join you in Bewley. I've packed your usual equipment, and pray you will find local assistance in my absence. I look forward to seeing you upon your return. Yours faithfully, though apparently not that faithfully, Kenneth Murdoch.
How very frustrating. I wonder what happened. I'd better get this to the alley before Mr. Long comes back.
That's like a big old box to get to the alley by yourself.
Moving a fully laden crate through the village square was no easy task. Somehow, no one was there to witness it.
It's because there's like 8 people in town.
But I didn't give up, because I never give up, do I, Mother? I am as stubborn as my father, as you liked to remind me.
All right, we got it to this alley. No wonder. Real difficult.
Wait. Where is my money? It's not in here. Kenneth, you absolute liability of a man. It looks like everything else is in here. Picks, specimen trays, shovels. Oh, my chisel, I'll take that. Ah, my lantern. It feels light. There mustn't be any oil inside. I'll leave the rest in the crate. Stanley assured me things would be safe here.
Kenneth? Terrible.
No money and no assistant. This is most inconvenient. Still, I've been in worse situations. I've got a tab at the inn for now. I'll worry about money later. I must find that barrow and get on with the excavation.
All right, progress. So, let's look at
I
the
need
lantern.
paraffin to fuel my lantern.
That feels like a church thing. That definitely feels like a church thing.
Hello. Goodbye.
There you go. Alrighty. Nope, not that door. I need to be more careful where I'm clicking.
I don't
Nobody's
think anyone's
home.
home.
Right, okay.
There's nothing else.
I mean, they're the ones who are going to have plaque ceiling, altar.
I've no time for... Locked.
Oh,
Locked as well.
the
I
box
think they all
views are
might be.
locked. Huh, that's weird. Why are they locked? Why would they lock? Don't get it. Is this door open now?
It's locked.
Where did the priest end up chilling? Let's see here. Where is he? Nope. Maybe paraffin is a blacksmith thing? Refill lantern for sure. Okay. So, blacksmith. It's in The center of town.
Good day.
Yeah,
Ooh, lantern.
I was wondering if you might be able to spare some lantern oil.
I don't have much to spare, lass. Paraffin is as rare as hen's teeth in these parts. How much coin do you have?
None, I'm afraid.
If you're in a bind, I can trade you a small amount.
A trade, you say?
Aye,
What can I trade you for some lantern oil?
surprise me.
Thanks.
Aye,
Okay, now we're going to take that chisel to where the fossil is because Thomasina isn't there to complain about it. Right? This makes sense. Now let's take my chisel and chisel out the fossil. This probably also curses us. So, you know, we're probably doomed now.
Splendid. I've managed to extract it in one piece.
Alright, now let's map back to town and use the fossil on the dude. Alright.
Would you trade some of your paraffin for this fossilized ammonite, Mr. Crozier?
now then, 'tis a beauty that. It looks familiar. I'll take it off your hands.
Wonderful.
Let me fetch some paraffin from inside. There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier.
Nice. Okay. Use that on that. And we should refill the lamp. Now we have a
My
lamp.
lantern is fueled and ready for action.
Nice. Now let's go back to the woods. Back to the woods. Where Jane is hiding in a hole like a weirdo. Weirdo kid Jane.
Right. Let's put this lantern to good use.
Alright. Why heartbeat sounds? Why such a deep tunnel?
Jane, come out at once.
You demon child? You've just been in here for like hours. Yeah, it's just a badger.
Goodness me.
But now we have that sound again. Jane is a badger?
Jane!
Silly, what are you doing in that smelly old badger's hole?
You were in there.
No, I weren't.
Yes, you were.
Not true. I was hiding behind that tree over there. I got bored of waiting for you.
So where can I find Hob's Barrow?
Go north from the church graveyard, up the hill. You'll see some muddy fields on the horizon. That's Mr. Bryden's farm. Hob's Barrow is there. Don't tell any grown-ups I told you. And thanks for getting Myrtle back.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jane. You've been a great help.
So what was going on there? Illusion of some sort? So we're going up to the church and across the field. I believe that's what she just said. Alrighty. Exit. And then up that way. And then that way.
As I trudged through the barren moors, with only the odd sheep for company, I reflected upon my visit to Bewley thus far. The enigmatic Mr. Shoulder and his puzzling disappearance. The townsfolk of Bewley, who had made it as difficult as they could for me to find Hob's Barrow. The suspicion, the wariness in their eyes. Only now I know it was actually fear. In the end, it was the innocence of a child, young Jane, that condemned me to my fate.
What's going on? This is spooky. Condemned me to my fate?
Ploughed fields stretch far and wide, an unusual sight for this area. The gate opens out into a vast tilled field.
Condemned me to my fate. But a description by us. Interesting.
What do you want?
My name is Thomasina Bateman. Mr. Bryden, I presume.
Aye? What do you want, lass?
What can you tell me of Lord Panswick?
He keeps us going. Most of our crops go to feed his animals.
What is he like?
Oh, I've hardly laid eyes on him. He sends his workers here to pick up the crops.
I see. I understand Hobbs Barrow is located on your land.
Oh, well, yes. Why'd you ask?
I am an antiquarian, Mr. Bryden. I'm writing a volume on the Barrows of England.
Oh, I suppose you'll be wanting to dig about it.
If at all possible, Mr. Bryden. I was invited to Bewley by Mr. Leonard Shoulder, who told me such an excavation would be possible.
Leonard Shoulder? Ha! I haven't seen him in years. The last I heard he were on death's door. There's to be no more digging there, lass. Not since it went so badly last time.
Last time?
Was there a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
Aye. Me brother dug it up. Must have been, 25 years ago. You see, whatever he found inside, well, it drove him mad.
Oh?
Aye. I moved back here to look after him. Poor bastard hanged himself not long after.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bryden. That's terrible.
Aye. Time passes, but it were an awful thing.
What did your brother find?
Samuel. Samuel were his name.
Sorry, what did Samuel find in the barrow?
I don't know. But something went wrong. Afterward, he could barely speak. You couldn't make out a word, like.
That must have been hard.
You lost a hand in that excavation too, you know.
Goodness me, how?
I try hard not to speculate on what might have happened, lass. I'd see him disappear into that barrow, dragging timber in with him. You'd hear him hammering away for hours. I offered him help, but he'd have none of it. Soon enough, he blocked the entrance off. To look at it now, you'd never know the thing were dug up. The land has reclaimed it.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Bryden.
I live here with my wife, and I might be long in tooth, but I can still run this farm without too much help.
Who else was involved in the excavation?
2 others, I believe. Outsiders, perhaps. I can't say for sure. I think they left town pretty swiftly afterwards. I lived in Bakewell at the time. I only moved back here to look after Samuel. I took over the farm when he passed away.
I see. What can you tell me about your farm?
Samuel's fair to side. We're a fortunate family. The soil is fertile here. Crops grow without too much trouble. All the other farmers round here raise livestock. Even Lord Panswick. We grow feed for him.
Most fortunate, Mr. Bryden.
That definitely has something to do with the Barrow, right? Something bad? Probably.
Is your wife home?
She's out in fields, lass. Pulling weeds. The curse of such fertile soil. 40 years we've been married. I couldn't do it without her, you see.
How splendid.
Aye. My wife is a fine woman. Are you married, lass?
No. I've had my fair share of proposals, Mr. Bryden, but that's not the life for me.
Marriage is an important institution. You'll find a man one day.
I manage rather well without one, Mr. Bryden. You haven't seen Mr. Shoulder for some time?
I hear about him now and then, but it must be a good few years since I set eyes on him.
He hasn't been here to visit Hobbs Barrow?
Not to my knowledge. I heard he's beset by ailments. Don't leave his home often.
How odd.
Yeah.
I assumed he'd spoken to you about my visit.
Very odd.
Not at all.
You say Mr. Shoulder is at death's door. What exactly ails him?
I'm unsure. It's just what I've heard. I wouldn't want to speculate on matters that are not my business.
Mr. Bryden, may I please have your permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
No. Have you not been listening, lass? Samuel found something in there that's best left to rot. No digging here, lass.
Wouldn't you like to find out more about what Samuel found in there?
Perhaps. But Samuel boarded up that barrow for a reason. You don't want to tempt the same fate, lass.
Perhaps I can at least see Hob's Barrow.
I suppose you've come a long way to be here, lass.
All the way from London, Mr. Bryden.
Have you any proof of all you've told me?
You wish to see proof of what, Mr. Bryden?
I can't let any Tom, Dick or Harry wander around me fields. What proof have you of your claims?
Thanks for your...
Ta-ra.
Well, what about the letters? Nope, don't want to read them.
Here is proof that Mr. Shoulder invited me to Bewley in order to excavate Hob's Barrow.
Leonard making bold promises, I see. Don't make me regret this. But yes, you can have a look at it.
Thank you.
Any road. Once you've set your eyes on it, you won't be wanting to outdo with it. The place gives one a queer feeling.
So where can I find it?
Through that gate to your left. Just head straight across the top to the field there. After 10 minutes or so, you'll see Barrow, set on a hill ahead.
Thank you again, Mr. Bryden. I really do appreciate it.
All right, let's go.
I probably should have brought my umbrella.
Yeah, probably. What's this rock?
Perhaps I could take a closer look.
What's this rock? AR.
AR. I haven't a clue what that could be referring to.
AR.
Finally, here it is. Hob's Barrow. Indeed, a barrow of a most unusual rectangular form. I've not seen something like this since West Kennet Long Barrow. Yes, this shall make a fine entry for my book. What secrets do you conceal, I wonder? That smell. Earthy and sweet.
Okay, flashback time. Flashback.
3, 2, 1. You can open your eyes now, Thomasina.
All right.
Come. Are you ready for your first excavation?
Yes, Daddy.
Capital. Make sure you remember everything I've taught you. I have a feeling you might find something special.
How exciting.
I'll be watching from the steps, my little bird. Good luck.
Thank you, Daddy.
All right, let's see here. Let's get that trowel.
Now I'm ready.
Let's use the trowel on the dirt. Use the trowel on the dirt.
No treasures here.
Trowel on the other dirt.
Nothing here. Hello.
All right. More dirt. Trowel on the third dirt.
Treasure.
A vase.
Daddy, I found the treasure. Look.
Well done, little bird. Your first successful excavation. That urn you're holding is very old and precious. Take good care of it, all right?
I will, Daddy. I promise.
All right, back to the present. Crying, remembering her father.
I do have a feeling there is something exceptional to be discovered here. I
Yes.
must gain Mr. Bryden's permission to excavate.
No. All right. I want to use my trowel
It's
on the
the
stone.
barrow itself.
I want to use the chisel on
I
the
don't
stone.
wish to carve anything.
I want to use the trowel on
in
the barrow.
Good time.
Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Such a slow walk. Ah, it's nighttime, I
Darkness
see.
falls quickly here. I should make my way back to the inn.
Alright. Well, this is danger music. You'd be so soaked at this point. Which really, she's from... Ooh, it's foggy too. Dangerous. There's a light in that house. Never seen a light in... any sign of life in that house.
Good evening, Mr. Crozier.
Evening. Thanks again for the fossil. 'Tis true.
You're most... How long have you been collecting fossils?
Ever since I were a boy. The moors look a barren place, but there are plenty of fossils to be found in the rock formations. All manner of creatures to uncover.
Such a playground for a young lad. What's your favourite piece in your collection?
The ammonite you gave me today. The most recent is always the best.
Indeed.
What about you, lass? Do you collect out?
I do. You see, I'm writing a book on the barrows of England. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England. I document all my findings.
But what do you collect?
Pottery, tools and such.
Bones too, no doubt.
No, I leave those in place.
You've got a morbid heart, lass. Fussing about in old graves like that.
We're not dissimilar in that we both take an interest in the remains of the long gone.
I suppose you have a point there. How's your book coming along, then?
Very well, thank you. Though I'm rather keen to begin my chapter on Hobbs Barrow. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Alright, let's talk to the
Good
bartender.
evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening. I found Hobbs Barrow.
Oh, remember what I said, Miss Bateman? There are stories connected to that place.
Yes, stories you won't elaborate on, I might add. Don't worry about me, Stanley. I'm quite capable of warding off imagined fiends.
I have no doubt, but please leave that place be.
I've come this far, there's no turning back now.
That's precisely what worries me.
Goodbye.
See you.
Let's
Good
see.
evening, Jen.
What are you going to do about him?
If he thinks he can take her away from here, he's got another thing coming.
Wow,
I
that's
am gonna knock his bloody block off.
some very British men.
In fact, I can think of a better punishment. Oi, what do you want, lady? Piss off.
You heard the man.
Charming.
Alright, maybe dude playing Five Finger Fillet
Good
wants
evening,
to play.
sir.
Me. Wants to talk with me.
I'll leave you to it. I don't wish to wake him. It's Herbert, the local stray.
Still been arguing?
Hello again, Cyril.
You're still here?
Did Mr. Long convince you of the virtues of Bewley Station?
What the hell do you think? Now bugger off and leave me to me drink.
Yep, fair enough.
He seems even more wound up than usual. I
Uh,
must say, last night has rather put me off using these toilets.
fair enough. No, I don't want you to talk to him again. I just wanted to go into my room. Go to bed,
Time
I'm
for
tired.
bed. Tomorrow I shall convince Mr. Bryden to allow me to begin my excavation.
Nice, we have completed a day.
Miss Bateman, How are you?
Tired.
Gonna buy you a drink?
Um. Sure.
One won't hurt.
Excellent. I feel bad about what happened last night. I'm sorry I can't remember it.
That's all right, Mr. Tillett. Alcohol can do all sorts of damage to one's memory.
I was thinking that maybe if we had another drink tonight, I might remember what happened.
I'm not sure that's logical.
But worth trying?
I don't need any further convincing.
Take your seat, Miss Bateman. I shall return with the goods.
All right.
To Leonard Shoulder.
Wherever he may be. I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yes?
Why did Leonard Shoulder ask you to dig up Hob's Barrow?
Despite his disappearing act the previous evening, not to mention his questionable sobriety, I decided Mr. Tillett was to be my ally.
Yep, fair enough.
I spoke again of Mr. Shoulder's letter, his proposed excavation, and my status as an antiquarian and barrow digger. He was fascinated and quite excited at the prospect of meeting the soon-to-be author of a real-life book.
You must find all manner of riches on your digs.
Barrow digging is not all success, Mr. Tillett. Often I'll come across the likeliest of sites steeped in promise. We set to work with shovel and pick and all the other barrow opening paraphernalia you can imagine. Every stone carefully taken down, every shovel full of earth put dutifully through the sieve, and we find nothing. Or you may find a miserable remnant of animal bone or a shard of pottery hardly to be recognized from the peat in which it decayed. Sometimes it's as if some Neolithic humorist prepared an elaborate practical joke for your special benefit.
It still sounds much more exciting than spending your days sitting in England's most remote railway station.
Are you all right, Mr. Tillett?
I've had another argument with Agnes.
Your wife?
Aye. She didn't want me coming to the plough tonight. Truth is, I've been drinking my life away since my mother passed.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry for your loss.
You're kind, Miss Bateman. Thank you. It's been a year since the old girl left us. She had a horrible end, wasting away, day by day. Consumption got her. She was naught but bones by the end. I can't get the image out of my mind. She was everything to me.
I'm so sorry.
I apologise for going on, Miss Bateman. It's not appropriate.
Don't worry, Mr. Tillett. I appreciate your openness.
Used to love going for walks out in the moor, my mother and I, ever since I were a little one. She'd get a tear in her eye as she looked out upon it. She loved this land. I asked Mr. Crozier to build a bench, which we've erected as a favourite lookout spot on the moors. Margaret's Lookout, we called it. Aye.
That's a beautiful tribute.
Aye. If you take a seat there, do keep her in your thoughts, won't you?
Of course, Mr. Tillett. I can relate in some manner. My father had an accident when I was very young. He's still alive, but he can neither move nor speak. He spends his entire life bedbound and incapable of communicating or looking after himself in any way.
How dreadful.
He was a barrow digger himself, an antiquarian of some renown. He taught me so much, even though I was so young. I think writing this book is my way of carrying on his work. It helps me reclaim those earlier memories of him, and I visit him often to tell him all about my excavations.
Can he hear you?
I've no idea. The doctors aren't sure. I'd do anything to make him better, Mr. Tillett. I'd do anything to bring him back to the man he was. I am in a state of suspended mourning for a man caught between life and death.
Dreadful. Just dreadful.
We all have our weaknesses. Mine just happens to be my father.
And what of your mother?
A cold woman. We haven't talked in quite some time. I think she blamed me for my father's accident somehow.
You were but a child.
Indeed. She thus saw it fit that a governess should raise me as she spent her life grieving for my father.
Well then, I propose a toast.
A toast to what?
A shared sense of loss.
I'll toast to that, Arthur. Now then, enough of this wallowing.
Let us be merry. Another round.
I really shouldn't. But I did. And another after that. And another.
Wow, I'm gonna be
The
trashed.
frustrations of my visit to Bewley slipped away with each swill of Stanley's finest ale. We had great fun that night, Mr. Tillett and I. I treasure the memory.
Go on then. Let's hear those pipes.
Mustn't.
Sing the song.
You're incorrigible.
Please. You'll make a sad man happy.
Oh, all right then. Clasps, celts, and arrowheads I'll try to claw within my clutch. And if a shield I should espy, I'll vow there ne'er was such.
With popish tricks and relics rare, the priests their flocks do gull. In casting out the earth take care. Huzzah! I've found a skull!
There's that sound again. Scary sound means a thing. Why you sleeping with a candle on? Ooh. Ooh. Purple skies. Weird. And we're by the Barrow. Oh, what is that? That's unpleasant.
Hello, Thomasina.
What is this? Who
Father's
are you?
voice?
I'm the one that saved your father.
What do you mean?
You were here 25 years ago.
My father?
You were deep down with the others. You were there, and something went wrong. I dragged him out.
Impossible.
I helped him then, and I can help him again.
I don't understand.
Believe my words. You'll find proof in morning.
Interesting.
Now go. One more thing. This is not a dream.
Alright, we're just cutting hard like that, huh? Alright then.
Goodness, that was a terrible sleep.
Very strange. Very strange. All right, let's push on just a little bit more, and we'll call it.
What's this?
That, interesting, has a rock on it. IAW. Day 1. Arrived after a decent day's ride from Bakewell. This is a curious place. Locals seem distant. I am to meet my local contact tomorrow, so it'll be an early night for me. I shall try to keep a diary of my stay here and not give up by day 3 of the excavation as usual. Despite the thrill of, possible new discoveries, I cannot stop thinking about my dear wife and wonder if I should have left her in her current state. I must have faith that she will conquer this bout of illness. Day 4. True to form, my journal has been abandoned. Let that not speak for the excitement I feel for this excavation. After much preparation, we dig tomorrow. Such an exceptional site with a unique history. As for the dangers, we shall meet them head first. We are prepared. I also sought out a local wise woman yesterday, and she provided me with a tincture for my beloved's nausea gravidarum. I am sure she will be pleased with it upon my return. Lo, a place of miracles. A planted seed sprouted before our eyes and illuminated our path. Nature's laws hold no meaning here. but I clutch my tablet with the knowledge that it shall end this. Pho theta epsilon c key. We found the code was simply in the singularity of the characters. All eyes must face towards the 7th Archontic. When the sun and the 2 moons meet, the guardian shall be defeated. A dead language reveals the path. For thou art the moon, the chief of the stars. Listen to the things that I have said. Follow the words of my mouth. Reveal thyself to me. I heard a whisper, not once, again and again. I will pour out my spirit. I will pour out my spirit. I will pour out my spirit.
It appears to be a journal, full of hogwash. I don't recognize the handwriting. Maybe Stanley knows more about it.
Curious.
Good morning. How's your head, Miss Bateman? That were quite the tune you treated us to last night.
To be honest, Stanley, I felt better. I take it you slid this journal under my door?
I beg your pardon?
The journal, Stanley.
I certainly did no such thing. Nor could have anyone else. You're the only guest staying here.
What's the meaning of all this? Do you propose that it manifested itself out of thin air?
Well,
All right. Things are strange, so we relent.
I'm sorry. I just don't understand how else it could have got there.
Let's talk about the
Are
journal.
you sure there was no one else here overnight?
without doubt.
How very, very peculiar.
So, what does it say inside?
Let's tell
Take
him.
a look.
Well, I can't make head nor tail of it.
Neither can I.
Maybe someone else in the village can help you with it.
All
What
right.
do you make of this stone?
That's a funny looking thing. It's got a cockerel on it.
Yes, but have you seen anything like it?
Never.
Do you ever have strange dreams, Stanley?
Me? I sleep as sound as a baby.
I had one such dream last night. It was so vivid.
What were it about?
I'm going to explain the dream.
I was at Hobbs Barrow,
Oh?
but everything was different. Great peaks soared in the distance. And there was a creature.
A creature, you say?
Yes, a short, robed fellow, eyes as black as pitch. It told me that my father had been there in Hobbs Barrow many years ago, but something went wrong, and the creature helped him escape. It said that I would find proof in the morning.
Oh, the journal. You've had a premonition, lass.
Please, Stanley, I've no time for that nonsense. But I'll admit it's a strange coincidence.
Now, what did I tell you about Hobbs Barrow?
That I should leave it alone?
Aye.
Hogwash.
Your dream reminds me of a story from my childhood. An old folk tale about Hobbs Barrow.
All right. Tell me about the
What is
folktale.
this folk tale you mention?
Well, when I were a wee boy, there were talk of a goblin. They say he lived inside Hobbs Barrow, hence the name, Hobbs Barrow. Hob, coming from hobgoblin, of course. Unfortunately, I don't remember anything else about it.
I was told not to believe in such fairy tales, Stanley.
Don't close your mind to such things, lass. I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you more.
Perhaps, if I ever meet him. Goodbye.
See you soon.
Good morning, Mr. Kemp.
Who are you?
Good day, Miss Tompkins.
Tompkins.
I'm here for his lordship's paper.
Gotcha.
Sorry, lass. Mr. Price hasn't dropped them off this morning. I heard he actually left the village yesterday.
Indeed, I can vouch for that.
Ma'am?
Good day.
Oh dear. His lordship won't be pleased.
My sincerest apologies, Miss Tompkins.
I'll come back in a few days. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.
Now, that knife is actually sparkling. Dang, that's really in there.
Goodness me, I can't budge it.
Be careful, Miss Bateman. You'll cut yourself. I spent all morning trying to get that bloody thing out. I shall be having words with that scoundrel next time he shows his face.
Curses.
It's really
We
stuck.
have our very own Excalibur. It's all yours if you can pull it out, King Arthur.
Well. Well. Ooh, it's
Right,
foggy out
I
here.
need to convince Mr. Bryden to let me excavate Hobbs' Barrow and find out where this journal came from.
Okay, we're coming up on a market day. Oh, the priest is out here. Interesting.
Good morning, Father Roach.
Ah, Miss Bateman. What a pleasure to see you again. Have you tracked down Mr. Shoulder yet?
Don't get me started.
I'll take that as a no.
Indeed.
Let's just ask him about everything. Let's start with Lord Penswick.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
Oh, yes. A rather important fellow around here. His vast land holdings give many a steady employment.
I hear he is renovating an old chapel on his land.
Aye, I've heard such reports. He believes this to be a godless land. Something I wholeheartedly disagree with. To which god his chapel will be dedicated to remains a matter of concern.
Why do you say that?
Oh, my apologies. Don't listen to my oafish conjecture. Let us move on.
But it's the sweet folk horror. Tell me the
Do you
folk horror.
recognize this journal?
What a tatty old thing. You ought to take better care of your possessions, Miss Bateman.
It's not mine.
Then whose is it?
That's precisely what I'm trying to find out.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I haven't seen it before.
What do you make of this stone?
I don't recognize the symbol from any Christian iconography. Did you make it yourself?
No, never mind. What brings you to the square today?
I'm meeting a couple of young congregation members to go over some scripture. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you, Father Roach, but I have quite a busy day ahead of me.
We will be at St. Edmund's, should you wish to join us later.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
What do we have available? Map. Got the farm. We got the woods. Got the Devil's Toe. Shoulders Cottage.
Thomasina!
Tillet, what are you doing
Good
here?
morning, Arthur.
You look a bit addled. Are you feeling all right?
I am not used to drinking as much as we did.
Aye, my head is pounding.
To tell you the truth, Arthur, I've had a somewhat puzzling morning.
Oh?
Someone slipped this journal under the door of my room.
Whose journal is it?
I have no idea. The text refers to some sort of excavation.
Well, Stanley must be playing tricks on you.
He swore his innocence. I thought perhaps you might have done it?
No, it wasn't me. That's for certain. Somehow I have a clear memory of last night.
That's pretty funny, actually.
I wonder who left me this journal then.
Mind if I take a closer look?
Please go ahead.
The writings of a madman.
I don't disagree. Did the sketches mean anything to you?
No, not at all. But they turn me stomach. You might want to show this to Mother Mildred.
Who, Mother Mildred? Well, we'll ask that in
What
a
do you
minute.
make of this stone?
It's a good shape for skimming across water. What is it?
I'm not sure. It was strapped to the cover of the journal.
How mysterious.
I had a splendid time last night.
Aye, I even remember most of it this time. Thanks for listening to me going on. I really appreciate it.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you too, Arthur. Who is Mother Mildred?
Some think her a witch.
A witch?
Aye, she might be able to help you with the symbols.
Where can I find her?
She lives alone in a little cottage within Herne Wood here. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding her.
Thanks, Arthur.
You're welcome.
Shouldn't you be manning the station?
The line is down. Track damage between Bewley and Bakewell. No trains for a day or more.
Does that mean I'm stranded here?
Yes.
For the time being, Thomasina.
Capital. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
All right, let's see if we can find Mother Mildred. That seems like a good point to end. Oh, we're going to have a flashback. Flashback.
Thomasina, dear, come say goodbye to your father. Come on now, don't make him wait.
I don't want to.
Aren't you going to miss me?
I hate you, Daddy.
Those are strong words for such a little lady.
I want to come with you.
We've been through this, little bird. You can't come with me this time.
But we'll go to Seaborough next month. I promise.
Oh, what a dig that shall be.
I hate you.
Well, I love you. See you soon, little bird.
Little girl got attitude. All right. Oops. Got nothing here. Maybe it's past where those loggers were last time? Yes. Ooh, weird sounds. Ooh, strange.
Please, forgive my intrusion. Are you Mother Mildred?
Some call me that. I prefer Mildred Walker, given as that's my name.
Apologies. Thomasina Bateman. I think we met at Bewley Station.
I take it Panswick's men have cleared off. Good riddance. Those ruffians would cut their own noses off if he asked them to. I recognised you the moment I laid eyes on you at the station.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a striking family resemblance. You have your father's eyes, Miss Bateman.
Well, that's concerning.
You knew my father?
Such piercing blue eyes he had. What a handsome young man. William.
He was here, in Bewley.
Oh, yes. A long time ago, mind. 25 years by my reckoning. But I'll never forget those eyes.
Woman, can you be a little less, obviously concerning?
Do you know Lord Panswick?
I know his labourers make a mess of these woods, the brutes. The man himself hasn't graced me with his presence.
You've never met him?
Not since he were a wee lad. A maid brought him to me with a sore stomach. It were all the rich food they were feeding him, nowt more.
Can you tell me anything about Leonard Shoulder?
I know of him, as is the nature of such a small town. I also know he invited you here.
Little escapes you, Miss Walker.
So they say.
So
My
they say.
path rarely crosses with his. Let's put it that way. But he's a nice enough fellow.
I see.
No one's path crosses
what
with
do you make
his.
Of this stone?
I-A-W. I haven't a clue. Perhaps it's an old folk trinket, or a talisman of some kind. The moors are steeped in folklore.
I understand you might be able to help me comprehend the contents of this journal.
A journal, you say?
Yes, it was slipped under my door. I have no idea who it belongs to. It contains peculiar drawings and strange passages. Arthur Tillett told me you might be able to help.
I'm not a witch, you know.
I didn't think you were, Miss Walker.
Good. Well, let me take a look then. These drawings mean nothing to me, I'm afraid.
Oh.
But I think this belonged to your father.
Why do you say that?
This journal contains an account of when I met him, you see. You don't recognise your own father's handwriting.
It's been so many years since I've seen it. How did you come to meet my father?
One might say I have a reputation in these parts. Folks from all around come to me for help with their ailments. Hernwood is abundant with flora that, if mixed correctly, will cure almost any ill. Your father must have caught wind of this, as one day he came to me, asking for a cure.
A cure for what?
Your mother were with child, and she was suffering the most terrible nausea.
Adam.
I made something to help her.
This is incredible. Is that why my father was in Bewley?
You were helping Samuel Bryden excavate Hobbs Barrow.
You must be jesting.
Do I look like I'm jesting?
What can you tell me about the excavation?
Well, not much. I only met your father twice. The last time he asked me if I knew anything about binding magic.
Binding magic?
He said he needed it for the excavation.
Hogwash. My father is a man of logic and reason. Why would he be asking about such nonsense?
Perhaps you don't know him as well as you think you do. Anyway, I know nothing of magic and told him so. He seemed disappointed. I never saw him again, but I understand the excavation went ahead. Samuel Bryden hanged himself not long after. Reason enough for you to stay well clear of that place.
Let's talk about the
landlord
goblin.
of the Plough and Furrow told me about a folk tale associated with Hobbs Barrow. Something about a goblin. Are you familiar with it?
No doubt there is such a tale. Name any beastie you can think of and someone round here will have a story about it.
My thoughts precisely.
All right.
What do you think my father meant by binding magic?
I've no idea. He didn't explain more and I didn't wish to pry.
This just doesn't sound like my father at all.
You'll have to ask him yourself.
I'm afraid my father has been incapacitated since I was a child. He cannot speak nor move.
Terrible. Oh, I'm sorry.
You said that the flora here could cure almost any ill.
Almost, my dear. But your father's affliction sounds beyond my abilities.
You never saw my father again after the excavation?
No, I always assumed he just went home.
Who excavated Hobbs Barrow alongside Samuel Bryden and my father?
From memory, it were just the two of them.
Charles Bryden mentioned there was a third man involved in the excavation.
Is that so? Well, you'd best ask him about it. He knows more than I do.
Thank you for your help, Ms. Walker.
Well, that was concerning.
They look somewhat like...
That was concerning. But we've got confirmation that Thomasina's father was here. We've got confirmation that spooky things were going on. And people be out of character. I'm going to guess Lord Pinswick, or whatever his name is, the Lord, who is probably evil, was the third man. That's going to be my guess. But that's going to be it for now. I will catch you guys next time. Subscribe if you want to be notified whenever the next video comes out. And other than that, have a good one. Bye-bye.